Hello, it's me, and I'm now progressing through the solve of the collection of my edge turners, starting with a helicopter cube, which introduced the concept of jumbling, as you can see, doing things such as the single jumble or the double jumble maneuver, to the curvy copter that added an edge that we had to deal with, to the Skewby Copter Plus that actually added mix-up moves where you can take centers and put them in corner positions, and actually even decrease the amount of bandaging that happens as you're doing some of the jumbling. Well, after doing that, and after having fun with that stuff, we started to look at puzzles. So, what can you do when you've done everything that you can with the helicopter, the edge turners? You combine it. So one is the combination of the 2x2 with the Skewby Copter Plus, and that was this last one that I had done, which seamlessly combines the 2x2 movements with the Skewby Copter Plus movements. Use the heck out of this puzzle. And now we're going to go to the next step, is combining the edge turner, the Skewby Copter, with a Skewb. So that's where we're going to move next. Now with the Skewb you have, it's also a corner turning puzzle, but you have a corner at the center. It's a corner turning puzzle that has corners and centers, and you basically drag it as a deep slice where you're taking some of the corners with you. And that is where we get this handsome double over here. So after having spruced it up, kind of made it a little bit more stable, found it to be a very easily moving puzzle, but in addition to your usual edge turning, you have Skewb turns. Now once you get the puzzle processed right, which means super gluing these down so they don't pop out at you, maybe lubricating it a little bit, which I actually had not, it's actually a very smooth moving puzzle. So I've not had any pops since then, so we'll see where we can go. But what I'm going to do is we're going to go through a scramble and a solve of this puzzle. So this is one of the most requested puzzles that I've had of recent time, is a Skewby Copter Plus, and I can understand it's a very intimidating looking puzzle, but you will be able to solve it. I'm even going to give you a money-back guarantee that you'll be able to solve this. Not a money-back guarantee in which I'll pay you back for the puzzle that you bought because I didn't sell it to you, but a money-back guarantee that I will pay back just as much as you paid to watch this video. Anyway, so thank you. So here's what we're going to do first, is I think it's worth going through scrambling this puzzle, because if you really want to enhance the challenge of this, you have to have a pretty good scramble of it. So we're going to start off just with the normal edge turns, like so. Turn this over here. So really we're just turning this into an edge turning puzzle, or we're just doing all the scrambles. And if you just stopped with this, now what I want you to do is I want you to, those that have not scrambled this because you've been afraid to, or those that have scrambled it and got it back to a certain degree, now's your time to do it. So we're going to scramble it together and solve it together, and we're going to get rid of the fear factor. So go ahead and start scrambling it now, because at this point you know that you can do Skewby Copter Plus, so you know you'll be able to get it back. Okay, the next step that I'm going to do, just to enhance the challenge, is I want to take these out of its orbits. And the way that I do that is with a single jumble maneuver. So if I want to take this and swap orbits with this, the single jumble maneuver is I'm going to go to the right top and then the left front, move that down. So basically move this up, move this down, and then I do a 180-degree turn with this edge. Boom. And then this goes down and up. So what I did is I swapped these two, and that's a way to enhance the challenge. Looking for other avenues just to show that again. This and this. This will go up, this will go down. Turn, down and up. Okay, so if this were just a helicopter cube or a Skewby Copter Plus, that's really how to bring out the challenge of that, by shifting orbits like that. Same thing, let's do another single jumble here and here. Up, down, and turn. Okay, that process is going to become important later. So the next step is, let's continue the Skewby Copter Plus scramble. We're going to start separating these guys out. The way that you're going to do that is you can actually swap these two. You're going to move this so that it's down here, do a 180-degree turn. Take this, move this center into corner position, and then I'm going to do a 180-degree turn like so. So this is facing out. I'm going to call this an ear position because it looks like an ear sticking out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this until this is flat. And then I'm going to do a 180-degree turn like so. So what you're getting is both of these are in ear position, facing opposite each other. Then we simply negotiate an exchange between these two by doing an 180-degree turn like so. Boom. So these are exchanged. Then we just get it back. This is a 180-degree turn here. I'm going to move this until this is flat over here, so it's in kind of jumble position. 180-degree turn here to move this back in, and this moves up. So you can see these guys swapped. So just to show that again, when I'm doing the swap, I'm not gonna keep doing complementary swaps. So let's put another color in and swap these guys. So once again, move this into corner position, 180-degree turn to create an ear. Move this flat over to here, so this is facing up, 180 degrees, so this is opposite. Now this technique is exactly what I'm going to be using to solve it, so I thought I'd just show it here now. This moves back over here. This goes back into center position. This turns 180 degrees. This comes down. So go ahead and do this with more parts of the centers. Just go ahead and keep swapping that just to enhance the challenge. Okay, so that gets it pretty well. What I did is I just put the majority in a swapping position. So if I want to do this, once again, move this here, and just kind of enjoy the smooth moving aspect of this puzzle. Don't be in any hurry. It's almost like a fidget spinner where it moves really smooth, and it's kind of fun just to move it around. Okay, so now that you've done that, I'm going to keep it in the square position, not shape-shifted, and we're going to start doing some skew moves. The purpose of the skew moves is it separates these pieces out and separates these. So now we're about to go into skew territory, so just start doing random moves like that. Again, don't panic, and try to get a good scramble to where, all right, moving it out here. Okay, so seeing what we have, this looks pretty good. So what's nice about this is that it it has sort of like almost an artistic quality with just how messed up it looks. All the different colors that are there. So here's the next thing that I'm going to have you do when getting a full scramble of this puzzle, is we're going to start doing what I call mix-up moves. A mix-up move is where you take something that belongs in one area and puts it in another area. Centers go where corners are supposed to be, corners go where centers. So that's what the Skewby Copter Plus does. So I'm going to show the mix-up move, and the reason why I'm doing this is because this will become easier as I start to go through the scramble. So that was a single jumble maneuver that I showed. So a mix-up move is a way of really just exchanging this and, well, actually this and this. So what's going to happen is I'm going to bring this down to corner position, turn it into an ear by doing it 180 degrees. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to exchange this with this, this centerpiece over here. Now this is the part about the puzzle that I really like. Notice this isn't bumping heads here. If I tried to do that in this case, move this here, and it won't move. And if I tried, the whole puzzle will pop. It already kind of wants to pop right now. So I have to sort of finagle this back. So what Souza did is he fixed it. He basically made a better Skewby Copter. So this completely does not run into it. So I'm going to move this over here, bring this back, and bring this across. So you can see I've exchanged these two pieces. This is now in corner position, this is in center position. So I'm going to do some more of that. Same thing here, going to move this here, create an ear. And now I'm going to move this around. Now watch what's going to happen. Even this doesn't come in contact with it. So this has the most perfect kind of motion that you can think about. Completely free motion. Move this over here and then turn this back and in. Now here's something else that's interesting. These two don't bump heads either. So he brilliantly designed this to make sure these guys can move past each other. So even if he just did this with the Skewby Copter, I'd use it a lot more than I do. So we'll do some more mix-up moves. This is more just to show you how brilliant his design is. You're completely free to move this. Nothing is running into each other. Move this here and down. So you can see these aren't running into each other at all, which I think is brilliant. It's fantastic. You can also do some other kind of jumbling maneuvers that you couldn't do before, and it might be harder to see, but I can move this up and I can move this up. they don't crash into each other like this does. I try to do this and they crash into each other, but because I have more variability of my motion here, I can actually do a further jumping move like this. You can never do this on the Skewby Copter Plus, but there's so much more variation in motion that you can do. Which brings us to the next part of the scramble, and that's where we're going to do skew moves. Now here's something else that's interesting. So well designed is this puzzle that not only can I do edge moves like this, if I do a half scramble like so, I can actually do edge moves like this, which I think is amazing. So what's happened by combining these two puzzles with the brilliance of Suze's design is that it actually has created more moves than you could have ever anticipated. So I'm going to stick with my half skew move, and here's what I want you to do. Now is when you're going to start to do your mix-up moves. So as I'm going like this, turning this around, you can see that I'm messing up my edge here, and I'm creating pieces like this. So I'm going to just do other moves like that. Let's say move this up here, move this over here. I can do some scrambling like that. So I'm just going to keep doing this, and I invite you to do that as well. The goal here is to take the plunge. Don't worry, I'm almost all but guarantee we're going to go through this and you're going to be able to solve it and see how messed up you can make this look. So as I'm moving this over here, pretty soon you're going to get into a situation where you can't move it any further, but I'm sure we can move it even further now. See, look at this. Barely even touches each other. Move this to here. See if I can do more skew moves. And I appear to be blocked in some ways, so I'm just going to, there we go. This will move here. And I'm just going to keep moving this around. It looks like this guy wants to move, so let's let it. Have to get into a right configuration. I don't want to force things if I don't have, there we go. So this will move to here. This will move here. Okay. So now you can see we're getting all jumbled up here. So as I'm doing this, you can see that this is turning into really just a spiky ball as you're not sure what really goes where. Maybe I can even do another skew move somewhere up here, although I'm not sure. This will move over to here. So I'm going to issue a challenge. I would like you to scramble this and make it look as scary and bizarre as possible. In other words, see how some of this is flat? I want you to take all of those out. And to those who can do the most scary scramble, most jumbled up scramble, will get bragging rights. So put this over here. So I'm just going to keep going. And I may have gone as far as I can, but I'm quite sure I can get more out. Like, I think this can turn. I'm looking to see what's preventing it. Maybe this. There we go. So now this can turn here. This can turn over here. So now we're getting into the scary scrambles. And again, if you're scrambling this along with me, I'm telling you, do not fear. We will get it back. We will be fine. Okay, I'm going to keep going and see how completely random I can make this look, how scary I can make this look. There, this can come across here maybe. You want to move, I know you want to move. So now we're not sure which part is the mid-skewb move and which part is not. So again, that is my challenge. You can see here's a very scary looking scramble over here. So my challenge is see how random you can make this. Like even here, there's some symmetry over here, and we want to see if we can't get that out. But let's see how much you can scramble this. So my suggestion is pause this, scramble it even more, have fun with it, then we're going to come back and get this thing solved.